Aston Villa 2, Chelsea 1. Honestly, man, it's time to get worried. It's time to get worried because in I feel sad because at least today I saw something 10x from Brighton's game. The difference today, we actually put some shots on target. We scored a goal, and we have numerous of opportunity to score, even win this game. At the end, you saw Cole Palmer chance, but we cannot. But he cannot bury it. Enzo Fernandez scored a goal because we have had so many injuries. Because if you look at the bench, the lack of depth we don't have. Because when you see on the bench, you only have like Tosin, Jusby Hall, Sancho. Because we only see the rest, we have young guys. You shouldn't be even turning to those young guys. But I would expect Maresca to do something because I want to say, you don't turn to these young players. There's a pressure in this magnitude of this kind of game. So we exploited Villa's weaknesses and we took over and we scored a goal. But in the end, Villa had enough to win this game, had enough to take it to the end. That was the difference. Because if you see Villa is bringing on guys like Liano Bailey, Marcus Rashford, these kind of people to bring on the bench, because that's the difference. They supported Una Emery in January. They gave him that belief that we want you to go for the top four. That's the difference between Maresca. They did not give him that. They did not give Maresca that chance. Because these directors, they have let the team down. They have let the club down. Because, and that's why Chelsea fans, they have to protest on Tuesday. Because our entire season has become a gamble. Has become a gamble on keeping player fit. Key players never be fit. That is such a risk gamble you can take. And at the moment right now, we're looking thin and we're looking weak. Because even if when the players can compete, they're still not enough. It's still not enough, guys. Because in the matter of how we lose this game, Yogason, who was actually good, looking so good in this game, Yogason was looking okay. He had some big saves in the first half against like Ali Walker, and a shot from Rashford from set piece as well, and making that horrible mistake, that howl at the end. Because I want to tell you guys, Yogason is a goalkeeper. Because if it was not even for him today, we could have been at least 4-1. That's what's the difference. But Yogason is not even ready. He's not ready. He's still young. He still needs to develop. He cannot be number one at this moment. His decision making at this time is not, I will not say it's bad, but it's better than Robert Sanchez. At a big club like Chelsea, this should not be enough. This was a guarantee 1 point. This was a guarantee. We were supposed to move in 5th place right now, but we did not. Because if we will leave this game at Villa Park with 1 point, that would be better, man. I told you guys yesterday in my match reaction, Chelsea, we have to go with at least 1 point. I'll take it, but we need a win. It sums up how good we were not. It sums up how bad we were as an organization, because we do not organize. And you saw the difference. Aston Villa, they backed Una Emery, they supported him, and that's what makes the difference today. Asensio, Max Rashford, these are the guys they brought in January. This is what we've been crying all January as Chelsea fans. They need to support Maresca, and that's why today I'm not blaming for Maresca for this loss. I'm blaming the ownership. I'm blaming the directors. Because what do we do to help us? What do we do to help Enzo Maresca? We sign a 19-year-old, I think he's 18 years old. And he cannot even play. What do we do to manage a manager? What do we do to save our spot? Because today, yet again, we live with no result. 2 wins in our last 10 appearances. 2 wins in the last 10 games. I'm just worried more for what the future holds, because they keep coming on the media saying like, oh, they want to win, they want to do. I don't think they want to win. This ownership is not showing that they want to win. It's not showing that, because we have seen it over and over. Because it's a very shame to see this happening. But now let's talk about the game now. because how we started the game was actually fantastic, because Enzo Fernandez had an opportunity and he scored it and he barrels it from Pedro Neto running from that left wing, because Pedro Neto was playing up front today, and this was the tactical today. He played him as a striker, and I told you guys Neto can play as a striker and Jadon Sancho can play as a striker. But because Neto was making runs in behind, was the spaces was left behind by Aston Villa fullbacks. Hmm? Because you saw what he did. He stretched that pitch, he stretched the upper front, and that's what we've been missing for the last couple of games, and that's why we had a good game today. Because I even say, like Enzo Maresca press conference, he said the same thing. He said today's performance was better than last performance, because Pedro Neto's key today was to stretch in the behind, to stretch up front, and that's the difference we have from the last games. Because if you could see, the only way we could get the result from Aston Villa was from the strong core centrally. You could have to see Reece James inverting along Moses Casero, and he gave us the platform. He allowed us to have that core in the midfield, and that was a smart. And that's why Aston Villa could not beat us in the midfield, because we had Moses Casero and Reece James. That was the key for us while having pacing behind, and you could have seen us in a counter attack. And Kunku and Cole Palmer, they played out wide. This is where tactically we played with fire. This is why we did not see Cole Palmer today, because he was non-existence. I think for me, I would never gonna play Cole Palmer off wide. I will have played him stays in the central, and Pedro Neto just play up front, and Jadon Sancho on that left hand side. That's what I would have done for me. But it's Enzo Maresca, and I think for me, Reece James should have played as a left wing. I could have done that job well, but the releasing Palmers, releasing the Netos, we did not do that today. We did not do that. But for me, if I look at this game today, the most attacking player we had, the most was dangerous on the break was Pedro Neto, and fantastic, he did it. And Enzo Fernandez was crushing the box, and that's how he was able to score the goal. This was the occasion of the game today. This was a tactical. This was both teams playing fire against fire, and who comes in the end with a win was Aston Villa. But that was the difference, man. And for me, especially that first goal, I would say that for me, I even saw some decision did not go for us today, because when it came to the refereeing, especially that corner when they scored us, why are you allowing a player being pushing our goalkeeper and you're giving our player a yellow card? That's the difference to them. And Michael Oliver is not good. He's not really a good man. He's not good. So guys, for me, I want to give credit to Enzo Maresca today. Maresca is not going to make two mistakes twice. That was the difference, because you saw from Brighton the mistake he made, and today he started Neto as a striker. He brought on Reece James, and for me, this is where the negative stuff comes in right now, because then there comes some negative fans saying Maresca is not doing enough. But for me, Maresca is not a blame. This guy was not supported in January. That's why I was asking for today even Amoku start this young player. But I can understand in the big game like this, you cannot start these young players. It will kill their confidence, especially if you are losing. And I want to say, man, Cole Palmer today, man, Cole Palmer had to step up. He did not do good enough. Cole Palmer had a big moment to secure the win for us. He was too selfish every single time. And Cole Palmer now keep thinking he's a big man for this team. He keep thinking now he's him. He's not him, man. I'm going to tell you this. Cole Palmer should have given that ball to Christopher, and he could have finished it. Cole Palmer, for me, man, he needs to be reminded who he is. He needs to be reminded where he sits on the table. Because I want to tell you, man, people, they may say Nkunku was bad, but I don't think he was. We did not give him enough opportunity. Cole Palmer did not. If you sit here and you tell me Christopher Nkunku was that bad, it was better than any other players, what about Cole Palmer? I saw people are going over Nkunku, but no one is going after Palmer, man. No one is saying that Palmer was bad. No one is coming out saying that. Because most of the attack, they were bad, except Pedro Neto. And because I want to say, man, we have opportunities today. We had opportunity. We created chances. That was the difference between the last games. You could see the body languages of the player. We had chances, we could not bury them. Chris Fankunku, I will say he was not good, but he was still bad, and he still needed support. And if you sit here, and you tell me, and I want to say this, man, Chris Fankunku, let's talk about him. He had one shot. Man. I don't know what has happened to this guy. I used to watch this guy at Leipzig because he's been lost in the system. Maresca have not utilized him. Chris Fankunku last season when he came from injury, even every time he came from the bench, he scored. The chance he had, he scored. I think he scored almost 4 goals from even having Omona injured the whole season. So, but he still scored. But today, this is when the youth and experience come. This is why we are asking for experience in January. Because when you see players like Palmer, these are kids. They still need support. They still need to grow. This is why I've been telling you guys. Palmer is not that him. He's not that guy yet. Give him time and let's see what he can do. Let's see him what he can develop to come in the future. But that's what happened, man. So guys, if it's your first time on the channel, smash that like button and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you guys in the next one. And take care of yourself and God bless you.